Well, good morning, and I do mean morning. Today is Thursday, March 7th, and we have one birthday. Today's Juanita's birthday. So, Juanita, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Juanita. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Well, I hope you have a great birthday, Juanita. Oh, let's see. What are my plans for today? Well, I think I missed. Is it tonight? Maybe it's tonight. I don't know that I'm going to see it because, anyway, we're on our way to pick up Alyssa to bring to school. She overslept, and so she called me and woke me up. But you know what? I'll do anything for my grandchildren. I'll do anything for anybody if they ask me nicely. Yeah, let's be honest. But it is early. My eyes aren't even really open yet. But I'm going to go to my Weight Watcher meeting tonight with Bertie. I was telling Jim that she doesn't know how to text. It's like she texted me last night, like at 8:15. Are you going to the meeting tomorrow? And I immediately answered, I was planning on it. Are you planning on going too? Crickets. Crickets, I tell you. Now, I know she just had her phone in her hand because she just texted me. So then we waited and I waited and I waited and then I waited 2 hours and then I texted her back, well, are you going to the meeting tomorrow? It took her another half hour to respond. It's like, okay, hello. Oh, that birdie. So anyway, she is going. Not to hold you in suspense. She is going to go. I'm kind of curious how I'm going to do. I'm hoping to stay the same or maybe just have a small little gain, either or a gain or a loss. I'm right at that iffy period. I did make some choices over the weekend that weren't to my benefit. We'll just say that. So we'll just go from there. But at least I'm going to the meeting. I'm so sorry because Terry Weeks is meeting how the church where she rents the Weight Watchers rents it from is I think it's the 21st is going to be her last day that she's going to have a meeting there. I think that's the way. I think that they're all eventually going to close because I think they've lost their purpose. They've lost their mission message, in my opinion. But I like it to keep me on track because I really think I would have gained way more weight. But I need to get my mindset back. I really do. But that's all you can do sometimes. That's just try your best, and I'm trying. I know sometimes it doesn't seem like it, but I truly am trying. And then I watched some videos yesterday. You know what? I always miss the latest phase, or the latest fad, I guess I should say. A couple weeks ago, everybody was talking about organizing. Like we're going to get rid of this, we're going to get rid of that, we're going to, all of them were doing it. Joan was doing it, and Edie was doing it, and Valerie was doing it, and everybody was doing it. Valerie Reese. But everybody was doing it. Did I do it? Yeah. Not so much. I did a little bit, but not a lot. Not enough to even worry about. Well, this week it seems to be the craze is everybody's making bread. Terry Weeks made bread. Joan Joan. Rise and Shine Suburban Homestead made bread. Edie made bread. Can't remember if Valerie made bread. I know she made a low sugar or no sugar brownie. But everybody's baking. Me? Not so much. I don't know. I've missed that calling too. But maybe the next one will hit me and I'll remember to do it. We'll see. But I don't have any plans for today, Jim. And most of our shows, now I notice that they have a week of regular shows and then the next week is reruns. And then a week of regular shows and then a week of reruns. Both Danny and Jimmy are watching like old shows from when they were a child, like in the 70s or the 80s. And back then, they had like 24 episodes for a season. And they go, well, it's taken me forever to get through season 1. There's 24 episodes. And I go, yeah, that's when there was really good television. Because really, I think the shows were better. And, of course, I might be a little bit prejudiced because I'm older and I watched them then. But like in the 60s, boy, they had like 37 weeks. They started in September, like right after Labor Day, and they went to the end of May, right up to Memorial Day. And they didn't have repeats. And so if you didn't see it then, you didn't see it until now. Because now it's in syndication. But times are so different. They really are. But I'm trying to think of new food things, new ways to eat. I think that most of my problem, a good majority of my problem is I'm just really, I know I don't think I'd ever have said this, but like the berries don't bring me as much joy as they used to. I still eat them because they're good for me. But I used to get so much more joy out of eating them than I do now. Now it's just like, let's have some berries. Well, that's not the way to eat. You should be getting excited about what you're going to eat. When I eat out, I'm excited because I'm thinking, I'm going to go to like Outback. I'm going to get my Alice's spring chicken. Or, I'm going to go to the pancake house. I'm going to get my pecan pancakes. Oh, I'm going to have strawberries for breakfast. It's just not the same. It's just not the same. So I have to get my joy back of eating. And not eating just because that's what I was used to. And David's here. David could have brought her. Anyway, so we are here. We'll see how long it takes her to come out, because I am right on time. So we'll see. All right, I'll be back after I drop her off at school. Okay, we've dropped Alyssa off at school. She didn't want to be on camera. It's too early. Although she looked pretty to me. Of course, she always looks pretty to me. She's my granddaughter. Of course, I'm going to think she looks pretty. All right, what are you waiting for? Anyway, Mary's doctor visit went well yesterday. It proved to her, because it was what I've been saying all along, is that she goes to so many different doctors that she needs one doctor that's going to coordinate everything that's going on. And she told me that they all know what's going on. So then when we were talking in the room there with the doctor, Mary said, well, she had the scope. They were talking about her bleeding and that because I guess she had a bladder infection back in January, which we didn't know about. And she was bleeding then. And so the doctor wanted to know if she had stopped bleeding. And she just started going into the fact that they were testing her. They had to give her blood at the hospital because of her bleeding. And then she said, oh, you were still bleeding from in your urine? And she says, no, in my esophagus. I had to have a scope. And she says, oh, yeah, I remember we did a scope back in January. And then I said to the doctor, I said, well, she was just in the hospital last week, and they did a scope. And she says, you were in the hospital last week? And Mary goes, yeah, for 8 days. And she's looking at her notes, and she said, oh, I have a record of that. And I said, well, this is exactly what I've been telling Mary, that she ought to have some sort of one doctor. I said, because she's going to the same hospital, you're all in the same network. So she just assumes that everybody knows what's going on with her. And she says, no. She says, what happens is like, I don't know, she named off network. She says, like, I could be on the A network, and then the kidney doctor could be on the B network. And so I'm not privy to everything of that because of HIPAA, and I can't see everything. She says, so she thought she was on Medicare. She says, Medicare, you can have a case manager, and then they coordinate all of the visits. And so they're watching all of them, and so they'll send the notes to every single doctor that you don't go to, whether it pertains to them or not. So they will have the notes in their system. So Mary says, well, I didn't know that I could do that. And she says, well, let me check. Well, then Mary's not completely on Medicare. She's 66. She could be on it, but I guess she still has her insurance. I don't know if she'd be better off going on Medicare before she retires and just using her insurance as secondary. She might get more benefits, or if she's better off. I don't know exactly how well her insurance is. But anyway, so then the doctor comes back and she says, well, I looked into it a little bit, and it appears that your insurance will have a nurse manager, that your insurance will cover that. So Denise is in charge of that because Denise worked in claims most of her career, handling either workman's comp claims or health benefit claims. So Denise is going to handle that. So Denise is going to look into the fact that Mary might have this, and so then that'll help because we were telling the doctor stuff that she didn't even know, and I'm thinking, how can you not know that? It should be in her chart. And then I guess if she look a little further, she could find it, but if it's not right there, obvious. I know that road needs to be graded. Oh, Michigan, how we love our roads. This is why we don't have emission tests, because all of these cars shouldn't be on the road or wrecking the roads. Although I don't think that has anything to do with the roads. I don't know. Anyway, but Mary, oh my gosh, she's so weak. I got to her house. I was supposed to pick her up at 1:30. I got there a quarter after 1, and she didn't come out until 25 to 2. And then even when she came out, I showed you the video yesterday how slow she was. And Don is so worried. He says she's failing so fast. And then we find out that last year she was taking chemo pills because she had some precancerous cells that she didn't tell us about. And he said that that's when she started her decline, is when she started taking the pills for the precancer, the chemo pills. But we're finding out so much more about what's going on with Mary. But I am so worried about her. I really am. But she is such a fighter. She is not going to give up. She's talking about going to Alaska. She's talking about how much money she's going to bring and what clothes she's going to pack. And she called and left a message with the the cruise director, I guess, the travel agent, to find out about getting a wheelchair and a walker. So, I mean, she's, your mindset, which comes back to even dieting, your mindset is what determines your results. My sister Sue gave up, and she went quick. My brother Pat, he kind of gave up, and he went quick. So, I just think that, where am I going? Oh, I can only, this is the way I want to go. I've never come back from this way. I always go that way, but I've never come back from that way. So we'll see. See how it goes. Anyway, we made it. That was a kind of a tricky turn. But I think that the fact that Mary has such a strong mindset that she's got something to live for. And so I really have to take Mary as an example and have that mindfulness like she has, like the determination. She is so determined. And we all know that how you feel about things is what motivates you, and your determination to succeed. And I guess I just haven't been that determined to succeed, although I like to say that I have been, but results show you how determined you really are. You could have like a good week of really trying your very best to lose weight, and you're determined, and you might not see a result, but I'm talking about over a long period of time, determination shows results. And I need to do better. I just definitely need to do better. I have the best of intentions at night when I'm going to bed. Best of intentions. And in the morning I wake up and I have the best of intentions. But then maybe an hour or two in, like I said, maybe if I can get excited about eating again, maybe that might make all the difference in the world. Because really in the last 2 weeks or so, I really haven't been tracking. Somewhat tracking, but not 100% tracking. Because then I feel like it's a drudgery. But, let's face it, it's a drudgery. I need this part of my life. And it's part of the drudgery I'm going to need the rest of my life. But when I get home now, I'm going to start reading. Well, not start reading. I was reading my book yesterday. I was surprised that we didn't really have to wait in the waiting room that long. But, the funny thing is I have Find My Phone on my phone, and I don't know why, but somehow when I rebooted it or something, I put alerts on, and the alert went off that Jim was leaving the house. I don't really care that he's leaving the house, but whatever. And so then I was looking at it, and it shows him and it shows me. And on my phone, it said Sandy was moving at such and such a time, and then it shows like whether you're in the car or you're walking or whatever. And mine showed that I was riding a bike, and I'm thinking, riding a bike? I haven't ridden a bike in years. So how do they have me riding a bike? The only thing I can think of is when we went to the first place, which is showing where it was at, was that there was a wheelchair in the door. So Mary got in the wheelchair, and I wheeled like I walked with her walker. I didn't walk with her walker. We had folded it up, but I had folded it up next to me, and while I was walking, I was wheeling it. That the wheels on the walker must have been registering that I was riding a bike. I thought that was funny because I was not on a bike. I can ride a bike. I have ridden a bike. And really, in recent years, I have ridden a bike. Because they say, like they always say, you never forget. When I first got on it after years and years of not being on it, I thought, did I forget? No, I didn't forget. I remembered. But I just didn't like it. Something about it I just didn't like. So that's why I sold my bike at a garage sale. I got $50 for it. It was a free bike because it was one of the things when I reached my 25 years, I think it was, at work. You got to pick a gift, and I picked a bike, a mountain bike. It was a nice bike. It was really a nice bike. But anyway, we are home. So the next time you see me, we'll be with Birdie. Well, since we finished our puzzle, now we were on our way to Hobby Lobby to pick up what, Jim?
A board to put it on.
Because we're going to hang this one, because this one took us a little bit of time to do. Most puzzles we get done, well, the last puzzle before this one we did in 2 days. This puzzle took us, what did we figure, Jim, 6 days?
Yeah.
6 days. That was a little bit. The one before that only took like 3 or 4. This one was a challenge. But we're up to the challenge, aren't we, Jim?
Yes, we are.
You have anything to say?
No.
No, I'll talk to you soon. Okay, these are the choices that we have. And we picked 3 or 4 that we wanted. There's too many to pick. But this is the one we decided on.
Hello, my friends.
Here she is.
I stayed the same again.
3 weeks in a row. That's good. It's better than gaining.
Well, that's true.
I lost 1.2.
Okay, we gotta go now. Bye.